Hey everyone, welcome back to the online workshop lessons masterclass awesomeness. My name is Corey, and this is a simple one. This is actually coincidentally very cool because I just did a lesson on bar chords, and this is nice because this riff, the Alice in Chains riff here, is actually kind of a nice little prep for the bar chords. So the way we're going to do it now, it's very cool. It's almost like you're playing the chord without actually playing the bar. So it's called No Excuses, and what we're going to do is basically be playing one shape, as you saw, and just kind of moving it around. And so the hardest part, besides the shape, is actually a little slide thing that we do at the very beginning here. So let's build the shape and then we'll get into it. So what we're going to do is 5th fret, first finger on the low string. So you should be getting that note. And you're going to stretch with your 3rd finger, 7th fret A string, pinky goes underneath, 7th fret D string. So so far we got 5th, 7th, 7th, and then the middle finger is going to fill in the middle, 6th fret on the G string. So that's what we should have. And then the open, and this is where what kind of creates that sort of glassy, cool environment sort of sound, really complements the acoustic guitar, is that the 2 high strings are open, and they stay open as we move the shape. So that's your shape. Now, you don't want to grab it this way. You don't want to approach it like maybe some of your open chords, like your open E or your open A. You're actually going to need to play like you would for a bar chord. But if you don't know, it's pad of the thumb against the pads of the fingers. So in other words, you're disconnected from a lot of the neck. You're not connecting with the neck underneath here at all. You're actually completely detached. And part of the reason of that is to create the proper hand form to get your fingers across the frets. But the other reason is that these high strings are open, and you can't lean your finger on top of it and mute those strings because we need them. So you want to come and basically be like this, where you're, pad of the thumb to the fingertips, and there's lots of space under the neck this way. So that is your chord shape. That's your A chord for this song. Now, before we get into the actual rhythm and stuff, we're going to walk this chord up to the 7th fret. So make sure you can play it there too. And you notice that those open strings really complement it. It sounds pretty awesome, and everywhere you move this, it's going to sound a little different because the open strings don't change, but they kind of recolor each chord in a different way. So we're going to end up moving this from 5 to 7, and that's the core of our first riff, and then the chorus part is actually going to start the same chord shape at 3, and it's going to climb all from to 5 and then to 7. So we'll go over that, but let's hit the rhythm now a little bit on the beginning. Now, I watched the video on YouTube, the MTV Unplugged, and I'm actually cheating a little to build some foundational strumming principles here on purpose. If you watch the guys in the video, they start and they kind of do like 3 down strums in a row. And that's great if you can already strum, and if you can, by all means, just go ahead and cut to the chase and do it. But I think it's better to encourage your strumming and your sense of rhythm to start this, and because of the placement of the strums, and to have the strums line up in the proper grid, and there's more in the strumming fundamentals section of the website on this too, is you want to start the first hit with an up strum. So, and the reason for that is there's 3, and when you make that move, you want to line up on the grid to where you're still strumming down on the downbeats and up on the upbeats. So it will sound like this if you apply this principle, where it's going to be up, down, and then you're going to have to slide this entire shape. So you're going to slide from 5 up to 7. And there's not really any easy way except to just practice it and make sure that your arm here isn't on your leg, which could stop you from moving your whole arm. Just make sure that there's nothing in the way of your form, and that you have the guitar body anchored to have something to push against, and just make that slide. You have to hold pressure the whole time. In fact, it's even harder for me to slide as I'm talking about it out of context of the song now that I'm thinking about it. It's one of these things that will become so automatic, and it's very expressive. It's very creative too. It's one of the reasons I really like the guitar so much. So anyway, so the rhythm is this again. It's up, down, slide. And as you do that slide, if your hand is on the grid, you came up as you did the slide, and the very next hit is another down. Up with the slide, and then another down hit. And your hand should be in the groove. You want to keep your hand in the groove. The rhythm figure on this part now is like that. Now if you look at your document, you'll notice that the downs are the little in-looking things, and the ups are the sideways greater than, less than sign. That's there to help you as well. So one more time. And you get to loop it a million times because that's all there is in the verse anyway, so it's pretty cool. Now, because of the simplicity of this, it's a great opportunity to let the ear start to train you on how you're articulating the chord itself. I mean, you don't want to necessarily always strum down and just have the downs and the ups always feel the same. You don't want them to always feel even, because if you're going, it's just a little too stiff. You know, let your wrist kind of loosen up. And it's okay on those ups to not hit every single string. It's okay to scoop the upper end and avoid the lower end. It actually helps separate the chord. I mean, do what feels natural, but just be aware of that. Be aware that you can present the chord with your own, your own sense of feel. So on to the chorus, the next part. Such a great, easy song. I love this. Is slightly different rhythm too, but we're going to start same shape at 3. And that's your pattern. You're going to move to the A on your ups. So you're on your G. Then up to B. And then very next time, instead of going up to B, we're going to go down to E. So it goes G, A, B, climbs all the way back up, and then it's going to go G, up to A, but instead of going up, it goes down to an open E chord. But instead of trading and playing with your normal fingers, keep these fingers in the same formation, because that way you can just slide around without having to move these fingers off the frets. It's very convenient. Helps everything smooth out a little bit. So rhythms now go like this. Time through the chorus. And if you're in the groove, this is going to line up with an up strum to loop back into the verse. So a very simple riff, very cool, great to prep yourself for bar chords, to get your hand form proper, and to lock in with the rhythm, be able to articulate the rhythm. Simple enough that if you can sing, but if you can sing, it's great to sing along to. And cool, so check it out. And I don't know, guys, take it easy. I'll see you soon. Peace.